All right, if you clicked on this video, that means that you're thinking about or you're going to the 2025 Mid-Ohio Vintage Motorcycle Days, presented to you by Permco and the AMA. Well, if you're thinking about it or you're going, well, you just signed up for one of the greatest motorcycle events in the world. Me and my buddies, Cleveland Moto, between all of us, we've been going for 15 to 20 years individually. Before that, some of us used to go to the AMA Superbike weekends, which was kind of the party weekend predecessor to Vintage Days. When that series died, everybody kind of moved over to Vintage Days, and it has gone from 10,000 people to, I think last year there was 60,000 on Saturday. So you are about to enter a huge event. And there are things that you need to know so that you can enjoy yourself and also get as much as you can out of the event. So I'm going to give you some tricks and tips that I've learned from some of the guys that I hang out with and just going there all these years. And these last few years, we've really nailed it. I've seen everything I wanted to see. I've done everything I wanted to do, and I had a great time. So hopefully this will help you, and you can use this information to enjoy yourself. So let's get into it. All right, the number one thing. Let's flip this map up here real quick. If you look, the black is the racetrack, and everything else around it is the entire facilities. You are going to walk this entire facility if you do not bring something to ride. So you need something to ride. Some type of two-wheel vehicle. A bicycle is okay. That's better than walking, trust me. One year I was going to be a hero and be like, I'm getting in shape this year. About 4 o'clock on Thursday, I had had enough. I think I walked 12 miles at that point. My knees were giving out. I was dehydrated. You need something to ride. So if you have a pit bike, if you have a mini bike, bring them. If you're flying in, you're driving in, renting a car or something, you can't get it, don't worry about it. When you get there, walk around a little while, look at the campground area, look in the swap shop. You will find something to buy. $500, $800, $1,000. You ride it all weekend, take it home with you, or sell it on Sunday for a couple $100 less. Instead of renting something for $500, $600, you bought something, you rode it, and then you sold it. That's a sweet trick tip that you can definitely use. But I'm telling you right now, don't be the hero. Bring something to ride on, because it is such a big place that it'll make your whole life way more enjoyable. Now, again, I said 2 wheels, possibly 3, but leave the side-by-sides and the 4-wheelers back at home. As the event gets bigger and bigger and more people show up, the aisles between the camping get quite a bit skinnier. Like, people start to kind of spread out. And a couple of years ago, some side-by-sides showed up and they got stuck. They really couldn't drive around or do anything. Nobody was really happy with them. And I'm not dogging side-by-sides or anything like that. I'm just saying this is a motorcycle event. It's appreciated to bring some kind of a motorcycle. Those things just don't work in the facility during this event. All right, 2. This one's huge as well. You need water and as much ice as you can carry. By Saturday, it's a commodity. If you had enough ice on Saturday, you might be able to trade ice for a motorcycle. I'm not kidding. It gets hot. And they do have ice and you can find it. But by Saturday, when there's 50 or 60,000 people, that's a lot of people wanting ice and water. So definitely bring as much water as you can bring and as much ice as you can. And you'll be a happier person for it. If you've never been to Ohio before and you get there and you like the weather, wait 5 minutes because it's going to change. You very well might experience all 4 seasons during Vintage Days. And I'm not kidding. A few years ago, we had it where it was 41 degrees at night and 94 degrees during the day. We had rain, we had wind, and then we had humidity like you couldn't even understand when the rain stopped and the sun came out and it went to 100 degrees. So you will experience all different kinds of weather or just one kind of weather. You just never know. But Ohio can really throw some curveballs at you, so prepare. Bring boots, bring a poncho, bring some sweat gear, bring that sleeping bag, even though it's 95 degrees, because sometimes weather moves in and at night it's 41 and you'll wake up in your tent blue and freezing. So be prepared for all kinds of weather. Speaking of weather, you're in a giant facility. There are some trees, there's a little bit of shade, but generally you're walking and riding around in the sun. And I've seen it so many times that guys get there on Thursday, they don't think about it, and they get sunburned as F, and then their whole weekend is miserable. So bring good hardcore sunscreen, 70, 80 SPF, whatever you can get. Slather that stuff on and reapply a couple times a day, because that way you get to enjoy the whole event and you're not walking around in pain. And it'll sneak up on you, man. Sometimes it's cloudy and cloudy-ish and you don't think you're getting those rays, but that UV comes through and it'll burn the living crap out of you. So lots of sunscreen. Vintage days, you're either going to watch stuff, you're going to ride around, and most likely you're going to buy and sell or trade or look for something. So bring cash. Yeah, there'll be some people that'll take cards and stuff like that, but if you want the deals, if you want a quick and smooth, easy thing, if you want to offer a lot less than what they're asking, take cash, make sure it's nice crisp bills and flap it around when you're making your offer. I guarantee you'll do much better if you have cash. So a lot of people are used to motorcycle events where you can come and go during the day, and you can, nobody's locking you in, but just be aware that last year by Friday afternoon, the place was so packed that if we had to leave to go get something out of it, it would have taken us 5 hours, probably 2 hours to get out and then two hours to get back in, because the lines are so long. So kind of prepare to, like, once you get in, you're kind of in. So bring all the food, all the drinks that you're going to need. There are food vendors, but again, there's 50 to 60,000 people there. So the lines are not short. It can get really, like, if you're hungry at 12 and you get there and the line's 2 hours long or an hour long, it's much easier if you just have enough stuff. So bring supplies. All right, here's something that a lot of people don't think about till you get to the event, but you're going to want to have an easy up. If you don't, it's okay, but if you have one, bring it. It's very beneficial, get you out of the sun a little bit. But if you do bring that easy up, make sure you bring some weights or something to tie those suckers down with. Because again, Ohio can go from like absolutely no wind to a bit of a breeze, and then you see a cloud over the horizon, and then it's a 55-mile-an-hour windstorm for 25 minutes. A few years ago, we call it the tent apocalypse. And I bet you 50 tents went 100 feet in the air. Some crushed motorcycles, some hit cars, some just exploded. The next day, it looked like a war zone. There was just like dead easy ups all over the place. And then we call them the Jawas, but guys were out there like taking parts off and storing parts that weren't broken and things. So learn really quickly to, like, either in the middle of your thing, tie your cooler and make sure it's just down and it's not going to go up. And then the other pro tip is get really good and fast at being able to rip the top off, or at least a corner, so that the wind can't take it and take the whole tent up. We've tried everything. We've tried lowering them. We've tried the walls. The best thing you can do is just rip the top off, throw it over there. Now your frame's not going to get hurt. It's not going to fly through the air. Nobody's going to try to sue you for crushing their $80,000 one-of-a-kind Triumph motorcycle that's somewhere in the thing. So weights and get really good at taking the top off, because you never know when that storm's going to hit. So speaking of weather, another thing that we do, this is not necessary, but it can make your whole situation nicer, is that Phil is the king of having like grass mat rugs. So they're like that like plastic material you get at like an outdoor store. They come in like 12 foot by 12 foot sections, and you lay them down over the grass. You put your chairs on top of that. It kind of mashes the grass down. If you want to sit there with your shoes off on your feet, you have like something to put your feet on. It's not like you're stepping on whatever's in the grass. Also, it seems to keep all the grass bugs from coming up and out. So you seems to have less bugs and everything. It makes just the whole thing more enjoyable. It's like you're in a living room at night, and it makes it kind of nice. This next one, I don't know how many years it took me to realize that this would be a good idea. It seems kind of dumb that I didn't think about it, but foam earplugs. Bring lots of foam earplugs. Why? Because at night, say you get tired at 11:30 and you and your family want to go to sleep. Well, there's 50,000 other people that don't want to go to sleep, and they are partying. So earplugs in, and that way you can sleep. The first year I bought them, I was amazed. I was so tired this one day because I was walking. It was the year that I walked, and I was dying. And I went to lay down, and it was just so noisy. And then I remembered I had earplugs in my little case. Put them in, fell asleep. It's the greatest sleep I've ever had. So bring earplugs. Number 10, I was doing a list. I don't know if I named all the names, but Number 10 is, if you're selling bikes, bring like paper plates. People call them pie plates. They call them all kinds of things, but that's the general thing that people put prices on. Right on the headlight, right on the side. You slap your price on there, your phone number if you're leaving it there, and that's how you do it. And don't put the price that you want on the paper plate. Go up a few bucks. Give yourself a little bit of room to negotiate. Young guys, this is a place to negotiate. Last year I witnessed so many kids go up and say, hey, you're asking 500 bucks for that bike. Here's 500 bucks, I'll take it. That's not the way Swap Shop works, man. Offer them 250. See where it goes. You're not going to insult somebody. The worst thing they're going to do is come back with a different number. If you do insult them, apologize and say, what would you take? And work it out. But negotiation's half the fun. So again, bring your paper plates, a black Sharpie marker, write it on there, a little piece of tape, slap it on the front. And here's another great tip. Ride that bike around. I learned that from Phil at Cleveland Moto. He is the king of having people in his circle ride the bikes he's selling around because there's several reasons. One, the people know it works. They see it riding. They see it running. Hey, that's awesome. Two, the price is on the front, and they can secretly watch you pass and see that price and think about it. And now they've had no interaction, but they're already thinking about that bike. Next time they see you come around, they stop you, you negotiate, boom, you're selling bikes. If you have them sitting in front of your tent or something and you're selling them, make sure your phone number's on it, make sure you can monitor it so that you can hear when somebody calls so that you can sell the bike. But better yet, ride that sucker around and sell it that way. All right, so I'm going to pull the map up again. I'm going to talk a little bit about everything. So, all right, so here's this map. You can find it on Google. It's the AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days map, and it pretty much covers everything. They did a really good job of laying it out this year. So everything's listed. You can see where the swap meet is. That's a little bit smaller. I think it kind of goes more to the left, but still, it's huge. You will not believe how big that swap meet is. If you can get through it in 4 or 5 hours, you're a champ, especially if you're looking for something in particular, man. There is so much stuff there. So then next to that, you got the demo rides. Pro tip. Down here where the little showers are, those are the main showers. Those are great. Do not think that you're going to take a shower in the morning at 7 or 8 a.m. Obviously somebody's going to be, but if you want to wait in line, anytime you think of a time like, oh, I get up at 7, I get up at 8, I get up at 9, the showers are packed. But if you go at 11:30 at night, 1 in the morning before you go to bed, you might be able to get in, get out, and not have a lot of problems. So that's another pro tip. Again, looking at this map, you can see how big the complex is and why you're going to need something to ride. Like, you can go around the entire track on the outside. We always call it the track ride, where you can get around the whole thing. To walk that would be 3 or 4 hours, but on a bike, you could do it in a half an hour. And the reason I say that is, there is stuff going on completely around the entire track. There is people camped all the way around it. People selling stuff all through all the camps, all the way down all those roads around the track. So besides the swap meet, you have people selling stuff pretty much in the entire facility. So you definitely want to be able to ride around and go up and down through all the camping things, look at all the stuff. I mean, some guys, most of the good deals I've ever bought have been in camping thing more so than the swap shop. Swap shop's great if you're looking for a specific thing, like I need a fender for a 1968, CB350 or something, you can find it there. But if you want like a running bike or some weird looking thing or some combobulated, project bike put together, a guy selling for $200, that's where you drive around the camping stuff and just look, because there's stuff everywhere. Now, if you're trying to find me or any of the Cleveland Moto guys or the Motorcycles and Misfits, Noco Moto, Moto Hop, any of the other podcasts, all the Cleveland Moto guys, myself and everybody, we all have a thing we call the FEMA camp, and it is right up in general camping. I'll show you over here. So right next to Ross Road, the first thing, that's where we set up. We have a whole bunch of spaces between all the guys. I think we get 14 or 15 camping spaces. We put them all together and we create a giant FEMA camp. This is where you guys can come and say hi to us, hang out, enjoy our hospitality. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll have some t-shirts, some stickers, all kinds of fun stuff. So come and say hi to us and enjoy the day, man. But be forewarned, where we are is the party camping area. At the very corner right over here, I'll put a circle. That's where Lubin Moto sets up. They have a stage, they have a sound system, a smoke machine, a burnout pit, and they rage from about 9 o'clock to 1 a.m. most nights. I think they shut down early Thursday and Friday. No, Friday they go pretty hard, and then Saturday they go hard. So If you don't mind noise, you don't mind people partying, you don't mind people running up and down aisles and going crazy, come camp with us down there. If you got a family, you like a little more quieting camping situation, you just want to relax a little bit, maybe you're not into the partying, they got a place for you, man. They got you covered. If you look over here on the map again, in the light purple where it says South Parking, that's kind of the upper camping area during this event. It's a big grass field, and if you go camp up there, generally they kind of get quiet around 10 p.m. and it gets pretty cool. And like, you know, some guys doing campfires and sipping whiskey, but it's not as insane as it is down by us. So that's why I recommended earplugs, because if you're camping down by us, it's going to be loud for a long time. Now, they did a great job on this map. They have everything kind of mapped out for you, the off-road events. Now, you'll see on the schedules, those can mean hare scrambles, it can mean trials, it can mean the mini bike races, the actual motocross races, all that stuff kind of takes place over there. The road racing obviously takes place on the track. And then the demo rides area, they have demo rides. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on the entire weekend. And again, by Saturday, there are 60,000 people at this thing. So moving around is interesting. If you've ever seen videos of like New Delhi in India, a giant intersection with motorcycles just going in every direction, that's every intersection of this place. And somehow they pull it off. Hats off to the volunteers. A lot of these guys are 16, 18, 19-year-old kids out there directing traffic, and they do a hell of a job. In fact, the entire facility, all the people that donate their time, or maybe they get paid, I don't know, all the people working at Vintage Days are amazing. Like, there are people that we see back every year in the same positions. The one lady at the top of the camping, she's got curly hair. She's the nicest lady in the world, but she has rules, and we help her enforce the rules. So if, listen to these people, man. They're there to help you enjoy the weekend and make sure the facility's there to use further and make sure nobody gets hurt. So pay attention to everybody that works there. They're all cool, and they're all wanting you to have a good time. And again, this is one of the world's greatest motorcycle events. You definitely want to enjoy it, and you definitely don't want to miss anything. So take these tips seriously, man. We've developed these over years of like going like, man, I really wish I had this. And then next year we bring that, and it just kept refining and refining and refining for all these events. And now we got it pretty locked in. So if you have any other questions, throw them down in the comments. Myself or any of the Cleveland Moto guys might jump in and we can answer your questions. If not, we will see you there. We're 2 weeks away. How is this even possible? I thought it was like a month away. I am 3/4 through my project bike for this year. I have a video on that coming. I'll show you. I'm having a little fun with that thing. Oh yeah, and we'll have a bunch of pit bikes too. Don't think you can just take them, but we'll let you ride a little bit or something like that. So come see us, Mid-Ohio 2025. We'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And like I said, down in our FEMA camp, come say hi. All right. This event is awesome. It definitely works, and there's nothing dumb about it. We'll see you on the next one.